I really never know how to start these things. Welcome back. This is video number 3. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you guys so much for joining me once again Thank you guys so much for joining me again. Another episode of the new type known as Bobby. I realized that this is my first build of the whole year, and I started with the full mechanics. And I must say that it wasn't the worst build. I definitely had fun with this one way more than I did with the Barbatos. Surprisingly, it's holding together a lot better. Today we're going to take a look at is 1/100 full mechanics Gundam Vidar. And that comes from the Iron Blooded Orphan series. I think this is a season 1 model. Damn it. Alright, so let me retract that last statement. This is actually Galio Baldwin's Vidar, not Kamaris's. So this is actually from season 2 of Iron Blooded Orphans, and it showed up in like episode 34 and 44, I can't remember. This is when Galio Baldwin is presumed dead and is going by Vidar. These Gundams are a lot different than your standard Gundams from the UC universes. The frames are different. To me, one of the coolest designs in the whole series because they're not like any other quote-unquote Gundams. They are Gundams, they're made out of Gundanium alloy, or Gundarium, depends on the translation you go by. I'm gonna shut my mouth, let's get this video started. We're gonna start on the full mechanics Gundam Vidar 1/100 scale. So I just like to give a little bit of a shout out to the main place I get most of my Gundams here in the DFW area in Sherman, a place called Game Exchange. If you live in the area, they have a great selection. They're a little bit out of the way if you're in the Dallas area, but it's worth the drive and you'll always find something that you want. Without further ado, I'm gonna shut up. Let's get this damn thing started. Alright, so jumping right into this bad boy. As you can see, there's a lot of plastic in here. Once again, another full mechanics. These things are kind of cool, but at the same time, not my favorite kits to build just because they are a little bit of a nightmare. 1/100 scale frame, but it's about the quality of an HG. With that being said, this one did hold up a lot better against the Barbatos frame. I would choose this one again. This did change my mind a little bit, but not 100% sold on the full mechanics, so I will be doing another one probably within the next couple months, just to see if, you know, this is gonna burn me or not. Also, I'd like to thank everyone for the feedback. I did notice in my other videos that there was a lot of popping noise from my microphone, and I totally forgot to put the pop filter on it, so I apologize if you did watch those videos. And yeah, I finally got that fixed. I got the pop filter on there and everything sounds a lot clearer, so thank you so much for putting up with that bullshit. Anyways, back to Gundams. As you can see, this thing does have the poly caps to hold the joints in place, especially on the arms and the shoulder and the waist joint. Now, these poly caps are probably not the best thing to do for joints because they do loosen up over time, but that's a given. They are a weird soft material, so we'll find out in a few months if this will hold up over time. Also, as you probably just saw, that little gold sticker that goes on the chest plate is actually kind of hard to put on as well, all because it has those 2 holes that the armor does slide into that covers that up. So it's not necessary to put that sticker on, but I put it on just because I love all the sticker Ban-Dai put out, even if they are those shitty silver backed ones. And I don't know what the correct name for those are, so comment down below if you know what those are. I know someone does, but I'm just stupid, so. Now, I will give it up for the articulation in the arm joints of this full mechanics, and actually full mechanics in general. I do notice that they do have amazing articulation if you can get these kits to hold together. I have actually got some really cool poses out of this, and I'm hoping to get some really cool poses out of this Vidar. I haven't had enough time to play around with this. So with that being said, let's just hope that this does not let me down in the posing aspect. Alright, and just a quick heads up, when you are building these things, make sure you pay attention to the polycap joints when you're putting them in, because there's a specific way that these joints sit in and will not go in at all. Destroy those polycaps to where you can't work with them at all. Alright, we're going to change the angle of this video real quick. So yeah, just a quick view of my setup right here. Those runner holders I've kind of made shift out of dish rags I got at the dollar store. Common dollar store, Dollar Tree, like Dollar General, Family Dollar. You can get those for like $1.25. They're not expensive at all. And it makes organizing your runners so much easier than just laying them around like I was doing before. As you can see, This is the difference between the Barbatos and the Vidar. That is the actual feet of the whole Gundam. The weird thing about these frames is the feet, you can't really take those off of the actual inner frame. Those are part of it. So it's kind of like the RGs to where the feet are just the same on these things. It's just a permanent part of it. You can't fully just have an inner frame. Alright, let's slow this down and put this bad boy together. And that's just a quick look at the inner frame. Solid, just a evil looking Gundam. Just an evil looking mobile suit at all. I like the menacing look that these mobile suits have. But anyway, let's continue back to the build. That was the inner frame put all together. And as you can see, I'm on the phone with my friend Steven. I don't know if he was quite aware of it, but my friend Steven also is a Gundam builder and a Gundam builder as well, and we were just talking and building Gundam, so it actually was a cool experience to have him build and me build, and it was just a fun time. Anyways, as you can see, this armor is what I'm talking about with these full mechanics. Is the worst part about this whole thing. It looks so cool and I want to love these things so much, but every time I struggle with the chest armor and any type of those weird loose fitting things that you have to just kind of hold into place with one joint. But besides that, the shoulder joints are pretty freaking cool. And there's a lot of paint detail you could add to that. I just took a paint marker and filled in the gaps to break up the monotony in the actual plastic itself. So with the legs on these things, these were probably the best part about this whole Gundam because the leg armor snapped right into place, no trouble whatsoever. The boosters are really cool on this. Let's talk about these cool little side skirts. This is actually part of the armament system as well, because it's kind of like you got this booster thing on it, but it also holds in these blades for the burst sword, if I'm not mistaken, that's what it's called. So yeah, those burst swords actually come with 3 blades on each side, kind of like that whole Attack on Titan type deal with the look like the box cutter razor blade looking swords that they had to take down the Titans. So I think it's kind of cool. I think it's kind of cheesy at the same time, but who cares? This thing is actually so cool. And that just goes on the side just like that. And let's talk about the other weapons on this. This thing has 2 handguns, and I'm not used to building Gundams with dual wielding pistols, so I thoroughly enjoy that. It's kind of a cool concept, but at the same time, I don't know, I probably will never post it with the dual pistols. It'll probably just be the burst sword and its actual 110mm rifle, which these weapon systems on this Gundam are a lot more primitive, like modern weaponry, just guns and bullets and just swords. Not really too many beam sabers or beam rifles or any type of crazy universal sentry type weaponry. Also, this cool little backpack, and so that looks like it's about it for the build, so let's just wrap this up and let's do a couple of shots of this all together and let's look at the actual weapon system up close. Alright, and there we have it, Gundam Vidar 1100, full mechanics, done, finished. And this is just straight out the box, just straight build right now. I will panel line it, and I will add more detail to it, but there's the weapon system again. Another look at the backpack. The articulation in the shoulders. They move separately than the rest of the arms, so that's cool. Those hip joints, those are solid. Those are not going to move, but we'll see how well they pose. And that backpack again, those parts do not stay on, so don't count on those to ever. Alright, take a look at the 110mm rifle, the posability of that, which is really fucking cool, and I really enjoyed that. Quick look at the first sword, you just stick it in there and it grabs it. You might have a little bit of trouble like I did, but it should just place right on it and pull right out. So you get two different sets of hands with this. Actually, you get three separate sets of hands, but one for the dynamic pose, and then the other set is for holding weaponry. Now this set I have the first sword in, actually has a joint on it. I prefer those more. Alright, and then there is the Hunter's Edge on the feet. That's a cool design that is unique to this mobile suit only. And a lot of cool dynamic poses you can do with that. So, that's it. That's all I have to say about this one. Overall, fuck the full mechanics.
Alright, and there you have it. That is the 1/100 scale full mechanics Gundam Vidar. Hopefully that covered everything in the voiceover. If not, comment down below. If I forgot any detail or forgot anything that you want to know about that can cover, just comment below. Start a thread. Get this going. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, or if you just put this video in the background just to help me out, it means the world to me. Like, subscribe, share it. Yeah, we're going to make this short and sweet. We'll see you on the next one. So, until next time.